Hey folks, I've been hunting for a thermal binocular that actually works in the field and not just looks good on paper. A lot of listings promise crystal clear night vision, but when you try them on a real hunt they either fog up or give you a blurry mess, which is why I wanted to make a video that helps you avoid that disappointment. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Pulsar merger LRF XT50 sits in the sweet spot where thermal imaging meets a built-in laser rangefinder, and that combination is what makes the whole conversation about "do I need this?" a lot more nuanced. I spent a weekend taking the unit out on a mixed terrain hunting trip, a nighttime wildlife observation session in a nearby nature preserve, and even a quick test from my driveway to see how it handled a typical backyard security sweep. What I learned is that the device behaves exactly the way the marketing says it should when you give it a real scenario to work with, but there are a few hidden trade-offs that only become clear after you've actually turned the knobs. First, let's talk about the imaging. The XT50 uses an HD thermal sensor that delivers a clear picture of heat signatures out to the advertised long range. In my tests, a deer about 800 meters away showed up as a crisp, high-contrast silhouette that let me identify its size and even its direction of movement. That level of detail is something you normally see on higher-priced rifle scope-type thermal units, so for a binocular form factor it feels like a genuine win. The recording feature also proved handy. I was able to capture a short clip of a bobcat crossing a clearing, and the footage played back on my phone without any lag thanks to the built-in Wi-Fi streaming. That kind of instant sharing is a nice bonus for anyone who likes to document a hunt or simply show friends what they're looking at. The laser rangefinder is another practical strength. It gave me a distance readout with a precision that felt reliable enough to call a shot from a tree stand. The rangefinder works in tandem with the thermal view, so the distance number appears right on the image, meaning you don't have to look away to a separate device. In a real-world situation where you're trying to gauge the distance to a moving animal while also keeping an eye on its behavior, that integration can shave seconds off your decision-making. For a search and rescue volunteer, that same feature could mean the difference between locating a lost hiker quickly or having to circle back repeatedly. Now, the downsides. The biggest thing I noticed is the weight. At just under 3 pounds, the merger feels solid, but it's not something you want to strap on for hours of backpacking without a good mounting solution. I found that a simple head mount helped, but it added a bit of extra bulk to my gear list. Battery life is another consideration. The unit runs off a rechargeable pack that lasts roughly 4 to 5 hours of continuous use, which is fine for a single outing, but could become a limiting factor on multi-day trips unless you carry a spare. The manual does mention an export control notice, which essentially means you need to check local regulations before you bring it across borders, a hassle that's easy to forget until you're at the airport. Who should actually buy the Pulsar merger LRF XT50? If you're a hunter who already uses thermal scopes and you want a binocular that lets you scout a wide area before you pick a specific target, this is a solid step up. The long-range precision combined with on-the-fly distance measurement makes it ideal for tree stand or elevated position hunting where you need to gauge multiple animals quickly. Wildlife photographers will also appreciate the recording capability and Wi-Fi streaming. You can capture thermal footage without lugging a separate camcorder around. Security professionals who patrol large properties at night will find the stable imaging and quick range reads useful for perimeter checks. Even serious outdoor enthusiasts who enjoy night hikes will notice a difference when trying to spot nocturnal animals that would otherwise be invisible. On the other hand, if you're a casual birdwatcher or someone who only occasionally needs night vision, the XT50 might be overkill. The price point reflects the advanced sensor and laser integration, so unless you truly need that rangefinder data, a more basic thermal monocular could cover your needs for a lot less money. Also, if you travel internationally a lot, the export restrictions could become a logistical nightmare, and you might be better off picking a model without that extra paperwork. Finally, if you're looking for a lightweight, all-day wear device, the weight and battery cycle mean you'll either need a sturdy mount or be prepared to swap batteries midday. One practical tip I picked up is to spend a few minutes calibrating the focus and the rangefinder before you head out. The unit remembers your last settings, but the initial alignment can be a